Hello everyone. This is a short introduction video about a backend project that I created on Java using Spring Batch framework and Hibernate to interact with the database. First of all, I created the controller layer in which I have created request mapping wherein various URLs are mapped to different methods here. For example, register method of this controller class will be mapped to the register URL. Next, as you can see here, we are using DTU class, that is data transfer object class. So I have created a data transfer object layer in which various parameters that I will be expecting from the URL or the receiver or from the front end are created here. So this is the use of data transfer object layer. Next, I have created the service layer and the service IMPL layer. Service layer is basically a package of interfaces wherein various features which has to be implemented by the implementation class are created here. For example, user framework has register and login features, and property, since this is a property management system app, it has different operations based on the property. For example, a user wants to save his property. He wants to retrieve the various properties which are there in the database. Or if the property is not there anymore, he can delete the property using delete property method. So these are the various unimplemented methods which has to be implemented in service IMPL layer. So I have created this IMPL layer wherein user framework has register and login features implemented in this. So as we can see, we are getting data from the DTO layer from the front end in the APIs, and then we are returning it in the same way to the front end. So this is where actual implementation happens. And if there is some error, we send the error module with custom error message and error code. One thing to note here is service IMPL layer is using user repository. Actually, what is happening in these implementation classes, we are using this repository to do actual CRUD operations. For example, find by email or find by email and password during login. This is during registration. We are just checking if the user is already present or not. If it is already present, we are throwing this error. So this is the basic functionality of service IMPL layer. Now in repository layer, we see that we have used user entity class. It is an entity object where it is being used for ORM purpose, that is object relational mapping, wherein these variables will be mapped to different columns in a particular table, and the table name here is user table. And similarly, we have a property table in the entity class. So this is the property table. So this is the overview of the code. And now let me just show the resource folder wherein I have application.properties in which I have set up different profiles. For example, right now my profile is local, wherein if you'll see the local properties file here, the actual database mapping has been done. So I am using H2 console, that is H2 database, which comes in with Hibernate. And for development purpose, I'm using MySQL database. For this demonstration purpose, I'll be showing H2 database and one single functionality, that is see how registration of a user works. So for that, let me just run this application. Yes, as we can see that the application has been running now. Localhost H2 console. Now looking at this user database, user table database table, I have few already registered users here. Let me try to register a new user using Postman. I have mapped this URL as you have already seen in the code, that is API v1/user/register is the total URL of register method. So through Postman, this is the post request because it is post mapping. What I'll do is I'll hit this with a body where username will be, let's say, Thor. Email ID will be sonofodin@avengers.com. His phone number will be, let's say, anything, 66666, and the password will be Jane Foster @123, anything like that. So this is our post request for a new user registration. My application is running here. I'll just post it. So I have got this 201 status that is created, and ID, this was automatically generated, and let me just check it in the database if it is present there. So I'll do this select star from user. So I have sonofodin@avengers.com. Thor is the username, Jane Foster, this is the password, this is the phone number. So this user has been registered. So this was a small video demonstration about a recent project that I made. Thank you.